Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another round, the final round of the BUSR Audi TT Cup series here at Donington Park. I'm joined here in the commentary box by Doomskull. This is going to be our drivers' final chance to wind off their championship battles. This is the last time we're going to be seeing these cars riding around the tracks this season. So, Doomskull, do you have any championship favourite drivers that you'd like to pick out and mention?
To be honest, I have no idea what's going on. I wasn't here for the last couple of weeks, so I don't know who's even running for the championship anymore. So no, sorry, I can't answer that, but maybe you can give me some heads up on which drivers are in the running for the championship.
Yeah, I will quickly pull up the standings. So totally, in the lead at the moment, I believe we have Aidan Larson in the leading the overall, and I think also student standings, with Owen Goldsmith in second place with 340 points, and Josh Woolley with 303 points. I mean, that means that we're across the across the two races today, in theory, Woolley is still in championship contention, but I think most of the eyes are going to be on the battle between Goldsmith and Larson for, I believe, student and overall class wins. I may have to be corrected somewhere if I am wrong.
I do think Larson is a very strong driver, and he has the potential to win this from all the racing I have done with him and what I've seen him do in other series.
Yeah, he's just been incredibly consistent kind of throughout the entire season. He's placed decently well in a lot of the races. He's been able to, I think he's shown up to every single race this season and is, I think, one of only two drivers to show up to every single, or to show up to and finish every single race that they have competed in the season. So,
do we have drop rounds in this?
I don't think so.
Okay, because usually we have drop rounds, and if there were drop rounds in this championship, then he might already have won if he's leading.
Yeah, well, there's 88 points overall available and 80 available in classes, so technically, championship moves are still possible, even with just one more round to go. I believe we've got a few drivers on this sheet that I'm seeing here that are coloured in like a green colour, and I believe that also means James White could be in for some championship contention. He's currently 4th in the standings with 284 points. So I mean, he would need to have a relatively large swing to be able to make that happen. That would be 76 points over Aiden Larson to be able to win. So Larson needs to have a shocker of a race for James White to be able to win. But yeah.
Well, I think we're heading into qualifying now, so shall we head onto the track? See what's what.
Indeed we shall. So, welcome to Donington Park. This is the national layout, so we are cutting off the two hairpins that make this track horrendous to drive in ACC. So this is the infinitely superior layout, don't at me. It's a very traditional flowing track, the Grand Prix circuit, with the Goddard's chicane being the final chicane. This is also one of few tracks in the world to have a corner that is called a hairpin that is not actually a hairpin. Fun fact. So the track itself is, it's just so fun. It's fast, it's flowing, there's lots of elevation change, there's very little runoff, so it is just unforgiving. We've also got a few new drivers in this round. We've got Ben Gilroy, who we have seen in a lot of other ACC seasons, who's been a very, very solid driver. I've not seen him out on track in quite some time, but I think it'll be really interesting to see what he can do today.
I think he has a very solid chance at least podiums today. He is an incredibly strong driver, and yeah, I don't know how he will fare in the front-wheel drive Audi TTs here, because obviously Aiden Larson has been doing quite well in them. However, Ben Gilroy, all I've seen from him was rear-wheel drive machinery, so yeah, we'll have to see how he performs, but I think he's going to be a contender for some podiums and possibly even wins.
Yeah, definitely. And I would also say Donington Park, it's almost... I think when you think of touring cars, especially British touring cars, I feel like Donington is one of the first tracks you're probably going to think of.
I do love Donington Park.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's probably the best British racetrack that is out there in a lot of different sims. I think it's just got a really nice mix of corners. It isn't too overused. It's really just interesting to drive, and I think it's going to prove as an exciting challenge to a lot of our drivers who are maybe used to different layouts of this track from ACC, of course, and it is a relatively popular track. We've seen it in some other racing sims, so hopefully it'll be a bit more comfortable for a lot of our drivers to just hop back in to this track with these cars. I think it'll be a really good send-off as well to wind off this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what times everyone is setting. Hopefully we'll see some names appearing on the leaderboard soon. But yeah, we're here with Aiden Larson. I believe this is his second flying lap now. and yeah, he's had a couple of moments outside of the track. We've basically figured out that, like, the track limits are very dependent on the track we're on. I have no idea what they are like on this track. It is a modded track, of course, so yeah, I don't know what they'll be like. Looks like somebody set a 1:12. I don't know how representative that is of the fastest time.
I'm not seeing a leaderboard show up either.
There we go.
Oh,
We've got
no,
a
never
leaderboard.
mind. There it is. That's Gilroy at the top with a 1:11.1, nearly more than half a second ahead of Owen Goldsmith in second place. Gilroy coming through Coppice Corner now with a really strange artifacting on
yeah,
the
we
car.
love this game. that's
yeah, Assetto Corsa.
Goldsmith here.
Assetto Corsa, fantastic game with zero problems.
But yeah, no, that's about the kind of domination I expected from Gilroy, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is still very early.
And others fare. I don't think we've got a time from Wooly yet, who is in the championship running.
Definitely, and coming through Redgate now, very, very kind of long, sweeping first corner, and through Hollywood, the second corner now they go, and this Hollywood is much better than the one in America, and through the Craner curves they go. Very fast sweeping section, braking hard now into the old hairpin, which is not a hairpin. Coming through past Starkey's Bridge. I don't know. The corner names in British tracks are very weird. Up through Schwanz Curve and into McLean's. The tight right-hander, bit of a heavy braking zone. We could see some overtakes there. Up the hill and into Coppice Corner, as we see another car going rallying ahead of her, spitting some glitchy dirt into the air, and the cars can open up that throttle down the back straight, revving up to, I think it's around 6,500 RPMs, braking heavily into the Roberts chicane. I believe this is called the Goddard's chicane. The track map that I've got here calls it Roberts. Across the finish line they go now to complete a lap of the Donington Park circuit. They haven't improved on their time. I believe that was a 1:12.2. So that first lap they had was something absolutely magical, and I think they might have just been overthinking it a little bit. Goldsmith trying to whittle that gap down, but there's still half a second in it.
Yeah, I mean, half a second is quite a big gap. I mean, over the course of a 20-minute race, that's going to be, what, like 7 seconds or so?
Something around there, yeah, per lap. Well, if you're looking at per lap, losing half a second, yeah, that is going to add up. I mean, in any sort of racing, you know, these tiny gaps add up over time, and especially through a lot of these corners, it's very easy to just lose a couple fractions of a second, and then through a lap, that'll just kind of whittle your time away. Meet the Teacher currently up into 4th place. I think they're another new driver on the grid. We've got Hughes in this BWT. Oh, no, never mind. That's a Xavi. My leaderboard glitched out for a second there. He's within a second of pole position, and he's going to try and push the track as hard as he can to get that time down. I mean, it's a difficult track to really maximise, because if you get things slightly wrong, you've not got any nice bits of tarmac on the outside of the track. I mean, maybe in some of the corners, but it is not as nice as, well, there you go, Ashavi demonstrating my point exactly, because that is just grass and gravel. That is not good for your lap times whatsoever. As we see Butsy now coming out of the pit lane, he's been putting in some really solid performances lately, so he could be in serious contention for a podium here as well.
Yeah, my apologies if there are problems with any skin liveries. I did try to install the latest stuff, but this looks like just a white car, so either there's a mistake on my part, or there is no livery.
Or he just made his car all white just to troll you. You never know. And we're going to see Larson now. He's over a second off pole, 1.042 seconds off. Larson I've seen him around a lot in a lot of different racing leagues, and a lot of different disciplines as well. So Larson is quite a well-rounded driver. I can't name a track and car combination that I don't think he'd at least be okay in. I haven't heard him say that he's ever disliked a car or a track, and I mean, maybe it's just the stuff he signs up to. You never know. Braking hard into the Robert chicane, absolutely monstering that curb on the right-hand side to open up the rest of the corner a little bit more, flat out across the finish line, and he goes up into P8 with a 112 point. I believe that is a 102. So, again, qualifying in around the mid-pack seems to be really, really tight. But Gilroy, with no ballast, of course, being a brand new driver, currently has pole position by nearly half a second. Well, actually more than half a second. And a lot of the other drivers who have been racing in this series for longer, who have more ballast, of course.
That does make sense for why
slower.
he's so much quicker.
I mean, yeah, it's not the entire reason, but it's definitely contributing.
I reckon at
I'd
least
say
3/10 are contributed by the ballast.
100%. I do need to see when the what the ballast list is. It's gonna be here somewhere, but I'm really, really bad at finding things. So
Whilst you look, I would like to point out that P2 to P10 are all within 0.5 of a second to each other.
I mean, yeah, it is very, very close there, kind of in, I don't want to say the mid-pack, because it is more towards the kind of front of the grid, but it's like front, mid, best of the rest, shall we say. So, all the way from 5th down to 10th, there's about a 10th and a half between them, and then towards the front the gaps just kind of open up a lot more. Maitland has managed to put himself up into 2nd place within 0.3 of Gilroy, who's absolutely flying out there. If I can... yeah, I have found them. So Aidan Larson has 75 kilograms of ballast. Goldsmith has 66. Woolley has 57. James White has 48. And Ashavi has 39 kilograms of ballast. And it does kind of decrease.
Not appear to be here right now, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Maybe he's having some connection issues, or he's kind of pulled himself out of the... yeah, maybe he's just not racing. I mean, it's a Monday, lazy Monday. I feel him on that one.
I don't see him in the voice chat, so I think he might not be racing today then.
Well, that's one driver that Larson doesn't have to worry about at the very least. Currently watching Goldsmith sitting in the pit lane, Maitland in the McLaren-coloured Audi, which is slightly confusing to say, but hey, that's what it looks like to me. Comes out of the pit lane. Gilroy looks like he might have improved very slightly. No, okay, his name flashed yellow for some reason. Okay, I don't know what the name's flash yellow. I'm still new to Assetto Corsa. Yeah. I mean, the way that lots of different things in Assetto Corsa work, quite confusing, because different things can just, I don't know. The same thing can mean different things in different parts of the world. So, you've got your white flag, I think, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, it's used as there's a slow car on track ahead of you, but in American racing series, I believe it's like one more lap flag, I think. It's the one they show just before the checkered flag at the very least.
Which one, sorry?
The white flag.
Yes, it is, I believe.
Yeah, there's flag knowledge right there, as we see Bent coming through the final chicane, absolutely flying in that Audi, using the slipstream there, as we see Heron with a 1 minute 11.9 up in a 5th place. Very decent job from the green machine there. Hughes as well, looks like they could be making an improvement. Gilroy swerving across the track a little bit to build a bit more temperature in those tyres. Yeah, I think, we've seen Gilroy previously in BUSR. He's raced in a few of our ACC series, and I mean, many people have lots of different things to say about his driving style or about the way that he kind of races, but I think he's just one of those drivers that is, you know, can be a bit aggressive on the track, but I think it's all just that spirit of racing.
Of the BUSR.
Pretty much, yes.
Unless it's F1, in which case that's Cameron Searle. But Cameron Searle's not racing at the moment, so yeah, this is the Max Verstappen of the BUSR at the moment.
It's a shared title between the two, I'd say. Maybe it was actually Ben Gilroy at the Nürburgring racing as Franz Hermann. We'll never know. We'll never know. As Gilroy comes through Coppice now, down the back straight, trying to get the slipstream from, I think that is either TRM or they don't know, just ahead, trying to just cut through the air as much as he can, monstering that first curb, just to open up the exit a little bit more. We've got about 5 minutes left in qualifying. Can Gilroy improve his time?
I think he may have been...
I think that was an improvement.
That was a massive improvement.
Was it a 10.9? A 1 minute 10.9 for Ben Gilroy. Puts himself even further in pole position. He's back in the pit lane. Honestly, he could probably go make himself a cup of tea quite confidently, unless some of our other drivers can really pull something out. But that is a super impressive time from Gilroy.
I mean, if I was him, I'd just go make that cup of tea.
Definitely is. O'Leary now coming through Copper's corner. He's not that far off Mike Maitland in second place. Getting that front row start for this race can prove to be really quite good. It's was quite tricky to overtake at Donington. Monstering the first curb, monstering the second curb, really just trying to use all of the track. O'Leary now coming across the finish line. And that is not an improvement on their time. Or was that an outlap? Yeah,
it's
might have been.
It's very hard to tell sometimes, to be honest, with these timing towers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, AC has plenty of broadcasting software. So, I mean, things have been set up quite... I don't want to say last minute, because it's not really last minute. But... you know, it is hard to find the right thing sometimes, as O'Leary, I think, just realised he went off the track and immediately reset to the pit lane. He's now going to go back out to try and go again. Maitland coming across the finish line now. Doesn't improve his time, but he is pushing as like a stabbed rat. You can see the drivers kind of using the pit exit to open up the first corner a little bit more, which is perfectly fine. I mean, I've seen drivers with their right-hand wheels straddling that white line on the pit exit to open up that corner. Coming through the old hairpin now. It's a very, very quick corner, so trying to scrub off as little of that top-end speed as you can be really, really important. Through these next couple of corners they go, the Craner curves, I think they're not. It's Starkey's Bridge and Schwanz curve. Through McLean's they go, up the hill towards Coppice. It's like an uphill braking zone, so really some of that braking performance you don't really need to worry about. You've got the uphill slowing the car down. Through Coppice corner he goes now, down that back straight. He's not got anyone really that close to him for any slipstream, unfortunately. Opening up the corner as much as he can, using not too much of either of the curbs. I think that was the most sensible I've seen that corner taken, but will sensible prove to be a good thing for Maitland?
No.
He's improved his time, but not his position, it would seem, and with 2 minutes left in qualifying... Yeah, maybe. It's hard to tell.
According to the info. So...
Yeah. Maybe it's been a small improvement. I can't tell. It's I'm having to squint a little bit to look at the timing tower, unfortunately. Goldsmith now on their outlap, and he's going to maybe, I think, have one more shot. Getting his final time in for this series. I love this camera angle, the sweep through the Craner curves and into the old hairpin, using all that curb on the inside to try and turn the car, using all the space on the outside, carrying as much momentum as you possibly can, And I mean, he only needs to get about a 10th on his best time to be able to. He only needs to be able to get a 10th. Or gain a 10th, sorry, to be able to grab second place. At the moment, he's starting on the second row of the grid in 4th place alongside O'Leary provisionally. But he's going to have one more shot to try and get to the front of the grid. Goldsmith, again, don't forget, is in really deep title contention. And I mean, it's a very, very striking livery he's got as well. I remember when he used to race in red. I forgot when or why he made the switch from red to that really nice blue colour. Meet the Teacher now coming across the line, looking to improve his time. I think he might have actually just been on an outlap there. So he's going to have one more shot. We've got Ashavi, who is one of our... Oh, never mind. He's in the pit lane now. Maitland is now coming through Schwanz and into McLean's, I don't know how you meant to pronounce it. Exit of the corner, up the hill and into Coppice, carrying as much speed as possible. You really want to try and cut that inside and just kind of hang the car out. Just keep the speed up as much as possible. These cars don't really have that much power, and let's not forget in qualifying their push-to-pass system does not work. Mohammed up into P9, we've just seen in the timing tower there. Maitland monstering that second curb. P7, and Maitland across the finish line. He improves his time to a 1 minute 11.433. So it has been an improvement in his time, but not his position, as qualifying is over. Gilroy looks like he's still trying to make any sort of improvement that he can. He looks like he's got about half a tenth. Half a tenth through the second sector. Through the final couple of corners he goes now. I don't think that was a very solid run through there. Looked a little bit slow. He's pulling into the pit lane. Gilroy is in provisional pole position, and unless one of our other drivers can pull out an absolute miracle here, I think that's going to be Ben Gilroy. Brand new driver into the series, immediately comes in, zero ballast, absolutely smashed it out of the park. Larson jumps up into P9, overtaking Butsy and Hughes. Just really solid driving from him, but Goldsmith is going to be Larson's target for today. I don't know what positions he would need to finish in to be able to take the title away from Larson. I'm sure someone can run the math, someone who's a bit more awake than me. Goldsmith monstering that first curb in the chicane, opening up the exit as much as possible, straight lining it right to the finish. Does he improve his time? No, he does not. That's Goldsmith P4. I think that is going to be qualifying over for I think all of our drivers. We've got one more out on track, but I don't know if it is a valid lap. It is Mohammed, so they might be on it. Well, I was going to say no, definitely not a valid lap there. But that is Ben Gilroy on pole position, brand new driver to the series, comes in and immediately shows up the rest of the grid, but the ballast might be playing a little part in that, at least. Gilroy on pole position, followed by Maitland in second place, O'Leary in third, with Goldsmith and Meet the Teacher winding up for your top five. Then it's Ashavi, Bent, Heron, Larson, Butsy, Hughes, Mohammed, Eid, They Don't Know, and TRM rounds off the grid. I mean, that fight in the kind of mid-pack, I'm looking second all the way down to 11th place. The times are very, very close. We could be seeing some really, really close battling here.
Yeah, I'm hoping there will be a lot of close battling. We've got championships to fight for here, and I mean, it's the final race of the season. Yeah, as you mentioned, everybody is just so close, and loads of battles I'm sure will be happening all the time. I mean, we've seen how these race starts go. I'm sure there'll be loads of chaos, considering that everybody is pretty on par in the, well, best of the rest pack, call it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's probably a better word for it, but I'm not here for good words. I'm just here to provide insights and commentary into what our drivers might be thinking, and just to kind of bring more attention to the action that's happening out there on track. Let's not forget, we've also got the push to pass system, which is going to add an extra element of strategy to our drivers' races. Remember, these are only 20-minute kind of sprint races. Our drivers have 15 push to passes to use in the throughout the race. We can see that through a little display kind of between the B pillar and the, I don't know what that part of the car is called, but you'll know it when you see it. LED display on the side that will tell you how many they've got left. So that will add extra strategy to our drivers' races. When do you use them? When do you not use them? You know, do you use them to attack, to defend, both? You know, it's going to add a little extra spice to the race. We've seen how much it's shaken up the order in previous races, and I'm very excited to see how much it can shake up the order today.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're still waiting for things to proceed here. We're not even in the we're not even on the grid yet. So, once we get there, it'll be 2 minutes. So there we go. Now we're on the grid. So it's going to be, what is it, 2.5 minutes until we get going. So whilst we're waiting, how many interesting facts do you know about Donington Park then?
Well, I think this is one of the only tracks to still be partially open during the Second World War, and through the Grand Prix circuit in the late 1930s, it was a 5 kilometer long track with 15 corners, and the race lap record was a 2 minutes 11.4 by a man called Bernd Rosenmeier, and Manfred von. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that surname because my German is horrid. Of course, the German flag that is listed on the Wikipedia article is not a nice one. That's all I'll say. Okay. But the national circuit that we're running in this one, which I believe is the realigned Goddard's chicane, it is a 3.1 kilometer circuit with 10 corners. And the race lap record for this track is a 57.2 by in a Benetton B197 Formula One car. And let me try and find anything else. I mean, it hosts a lot of events. You've got every touring car championship in the UK. You've got Britcar, Clio Cup, UK Ferrari Challenge, GB3, GB4, motorbikes. I mean, this track is just good for, well, everything, really. And yeah, if we're looking at the new national circuit, our cars are looking at lap times kind of between the TCR touring cars and the old Super 2000s. So it's a fun track. It's lots of history stuff. It used to be part of a well, never mind. I'll give you more fun facts between the two races. I lost where I was on the Wikipedia page, so I'll find it again later. As we get ready with 6 red lights for the final round of the Audi Cup Series, it is go here in BUSR Maitland with a shocking start. Gilroy gets off really well. Goldsmith overtaking Maitland on the grass on the left-hand side. Gilroy keeping the car kind of in the middle of the track. It looks like it's relatively okay behind Goldsmith, looking around of, I think that is Meet the Teacher there. Maitland's getting swallowed up by the rest of the pack. Adam Bent with a brilliant start, all the way up in a P5 already, I think, with the rest of the pack following quite neatly behind. Adam Bent he's made up a whole bunch of positions already at the start. We're going 3 wide, a little bit further behind, and I think we've got a car off. Can't exactly see who that is. The rest of the track. Oh, there's contact there. I don't know who that was, but that was 2 cars that have gone off, and you can barely see them in the frame. That's Asherby. That's Asherby and Maitland who have gone off. Oh no, it's not. Is that they don't know? And Asherby. Anyway, Asherby's been involved in the crash, and they are off the track. Larson trying to make up a little bit more time here on the cars ahead, but the pack's already spread out quite a lot. Mohammed looking for a move on the outside, a little bit of a bump from the traction car behind, as Mohammed is going to try and carve his way through the grid. We've seen him compete towards a sharp end of actually a lot of these races. Gilroy still leads the race, followed by O'Leary in second. Meet the Teachers jumped up into third place. Goldsmith maintaining their fourth place start. Bent making up a whole load of positions from the start of the race, as well as Butsy, Heron, Hughes, Larson in P9. Mohammed following closely behind in 10th. With Eid, they don't know, and Ashavi. I think Maitland and TRM also involved in some crashes earlier on. That's why the gaps back there are a little bit wider than you'd normally expect at this point in the race. I mean, the gaps are already opening out. It's not even been 2 minutes yet, and our drivers are already kind of settling into a bit of a rhythm, trying to just find any space, any move, any moment that they can to try and make something magical happen.
Yeah, I mean, not too much chaos at the start of this race. Looks like Hughes just went off the track there a little bit. Not too much of a problem, and they don't know. Also having a little trouble staying on the track, and that lets Maitland get back past and up into 13th, trying to do a massive recovery drive here after that terrible start. Meanwhile, back towards the front, we have got Gilroy still leading the pack, 8.5 tenths, almost 9 tenths clear of O'Leary, who is likewise 8 tenths ahead of Meet the Teacher and Goldsmith. Do I have my commentator with me? Okay.
Apologies for that. I had to just quickly refill some water because I will lose my voice. Have I missed something?
No, don't worry.
Okay, excellent, great. Goldsmith still holding on to P4. He's just about 8 tenths back from Meet the Teacher. He's probably going to try and just keep with him as much as possible. He's got 13 push-to-passes remaining, as you can see by that LED panel on the side of the car just behind the B pillar, behind the driver's head. We can see it from outside. I'm sure the drivers have some idea of how many they've got left somewhere in the car, as those purple laps are kind of trickling down the grid. But Goldsmith, no, Larson now has the fastest lap of the stop getting fastest laps, people. My god, it's so hard to follow. Larson seeming to have a lot of really deep pace. Mohammed makes a move on Hughes. Very decent there. I think I was just up the inside at turn 1, decisive through there, but it looks like Hughes is going to try and make another move back past him, coming in at the old hairpin. Well, plays it very sensibly, stays behind him for now. Gaps at the front have opened up significantly. Butsy on the back of Bent, we can just about see ahead. But Larson is, again, he's one of our championship competitors. Heron here in 7th place. I mean, Larson can see 5th ahead of him, and if he can just finish as close as he can to Goldsmith, or better yet for him, ahead of Goldsmith, he knows he's got this championship. So it really is his to lose, but with the difference in points between the positions, anything can be possible. Because I have forgotten how many points it is for the different positions. Gilroy sets a 1 minute 10.5. Don't know where that lap time's come out of in race trim. Again, ballast might have something to do with it, but I mean, we've seen just how rapid Gilroy's been before. Larson up the inside at turn number 1 at Redgate on Heron there. Heron now looking for another move around the outside of Hollywood. Can't make that happen, but he is really trying to pressure Larson. Larson just about holding on, about half a second there between him and the cars ahead. Butsy really trying to pressure Bent into making some sort of mistake. Bent is just defending beautifully though. Heron keeps getting in his mirrors. Butsy looking for a move up the inside at Coppice there, and he's really looking to just ease past Bent, and Larson's trying to use what is that? That's an Alex Albon style move. If there's no room on the road, I'll overtake on the grass as Butsy manages to make that move past Bent. Larson tries to use Butsy to get through, but unfortunately he's forced wide. 2-1 doesn't really go through that corner. Larson's back where he was. I mean, that was ambitious from him. I mean, we've seen these cars go rallying before, but Larson just really took that to another level.
Yeah, no, absolutely ridiculous there on the grass. Must have been, what, like 100, 200 meters on the grass?
Managed to keep the car in a straight line, though, and he's still going. He's still in the hunt, as Heron now looking for a move on Bent. Butsy's made his way up into P5. Very decent move from him. Heron looking around the outside through Starkey's Bridge and into Schwantz, and through McLean's they go. Heron makes a look at the inside, and there's contact there. Bent manages to keep it going. Very well held him. Heron barely rejoins safely, almost collects Hughes while rejoining. Asherby off there a little bit in the background. But yeah, Eid at the moment, it's not the traction car. I was thinking of a different driver who is not here today. Me, the teacher, up in a second place as well. I think we've missed that with O'Leary just behind. You know, they're all setting personal best times. Hughes up into 7. It looks like Bent might have had an issue. Yeah, Bent's off. I think Bent has gone down or had some sort of a mistake there. He's down at P11. Not quite sure what's happened.
Lap there. That is very slow.
Yeah, I think that might have just been. I don't know if the contact with Heron would have slowed him down that much. I mean, he managed to keep it held relatively well. Just lots of opposite lock and keeping on the brakes just keeps the car very, very predictable. And you can really correct a lot of spins if you just, you know, hold the brakes. And, you know, Bent did that very well, able to keep the car. But I don't know, maybe he had a different issue from, like, overheated tyres or something. Because he's down at P12, Mohammed chasing down E for P9.
Oh, that's
looks at the inside,
can't we?
Well, yeah, Maitland is having seemingly lots of issues. I don't know if the car is having some problems, but Maitland off the track again. Dirty tyres really just proven to be not very great for him, as Goldsmith is trying to make any move he can on O'Leary for third place. Larson's made his way up to P6. He's passed Hughes, he's passed Heron. He's only got Will Butsy ahead of him. And that'll put him right behind Goldsmith, but that, I mean, there is a 6-second gap between P5 and P4, and it's only been about 9 minutes of racing, and the gap's already that big. I mean, that's really showing you the, you know, the benefit that you have of just keeping out of trouble. And I say that as though, you know, the other drivers are getting into crashes all the time. They're not. Sometimes you're just behind a car that is not as quick as you, and you're just losing heaps of time in each of these corners. And, you know, that's a normal part of racing, but it's about how you can get past them and how fast you can go by them as well. With Asherby now looking at Bent, who's down into P11 after some issues earlier on in the race. These two we've seen scrap before in a lot of the other rounds. Asherby looking up the inside into the chicane. Very, very close there. Very fractional, I'd even say, into the final chicane. Asherby nearly locked up and hit Bent, managed to just stay out of the back of the black, white and red car. He is trying to push as much as he can, and it looks like Maitland set something purple. Whether that was the best lap, I don't know, but that is Asherby up the inside through Hollywood Corner, and well, you don't see a lot of overtakes happen there, so Bent must have just had a horrid run through Redgate, through the old hairpin they go now. Asherby goes a little bit wide, but I think there is just a little bit of unpainted tarmac as a bit of runoff there. That's given Asherby just enough room to keep that momentum up, and Bent is going to be chasing him down to try and take P11 back.
Once again,
Larson.
well, I don't think we've even mentioned it today, but This is, of course, going to be a reverse grid race for the top 10 people from race 1 into race 2. Yes, that made sense in my head. But yeah, so the people like Ashevi and Bent, they really want this 10th position because that would mean they're starting on pole in race 2. And if, I don't know, Maitland would probably want to be recovering up to P10 as well. That would let him have another crack at starting towards the front. Of course, having a terrible start this race.
Yeah, Maitland just, I don't know what happened off the start, whether it was an issue with hardware or just the car had some sort of a problem there. Maitland down in P12 after starting in second. I mean, we've seen he's got pace. He really does have a lot of speed. It's just, he's just got caught up in a couple of unfortunate incidents. Ben managed to make a move on Ashevi, and that was not a safe rejoin there. He did not re-safe join Lee. Nearly collects Maitland as he comes back onto the track. Bent up into 11th, Ashevi down to 13th, and Maitland picking up the pieces with Bent now alongside, not alongside. I tell a fib as Maitland up into 12th place. He's got about 4 seconds to Bent ahead, and with what was that, 7.5 minutes left in this race plus 1 lap, Maitland can still get into 10th place and be starting on reverse grid pole. There is, you know, a very fine margin between starting 11th in the next race and starting in 1st in the next race, because as we said previously, the starting grid is determined by the results from this race, and the top 10 get reversed. Butsy defending quite hard from Larson, parks it on the apex. Very, very aggressive defending from Butsy all the way to the inside. Larson to the outside, through Coppice they go now. Larson trying to get involved in a bit of a grip battle. There's a bit of argy-bargy there, bit of door banging, but the two are keeping it at least relatively clean. This is proper touring car racing that we're seeing here. Larson side by side with Butsy coming into the final chicane, and Butsy manages to get ahead of him barely. I don't know if he used a push to pass in doing so. We've got another car in the background off, I believe that is Heron, who's also trying to stick with this pack. We've got Hughes as well in the mix in P7. Larson, ooh, bit of contact there actually.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. I think, yeah, there was a little bit of contact. I think Butsy broke a little bit early in the first corner, I think trying to just slow down Larson as much as possible. Larson very close to the back of him, doesn't expect it, and hits Butsy. But again, that might just be an issue for the stewards later. I'm just saying what I think I've seen here. That might just give Hughes a bit of a chance to ruin Aiden's day, as he looks up the inside into McLean's, manages to make that overtake. He's got the inside as well for corner. He's showing Larson the outside of the track, and he's already ahead. But coming onto the back straight, Larson going for a bit of the up and under, side by side now with Hughes, with Heron just behind. He could pick his favourite driver, maybe give them a bit of a bump draft, or try and use this to make a move on one of them. Larson up the inside, the final chicane, manages to make it past. Heron is pressuring Hughes into trying to make a mistake there. We've got a really, really good battle here for P5 with Butsy trying to get involved again. Larson to the inside with Hughes looking around the outside at the first corner. Can't make that move stick, but he's looking at the inside into Hollywood. He looks like he's got a wheel alongside. He's got both wheels alongside. And Heron is now looking to try and follow him through through the corner curves and into the old hairpin. Hughes looks to make the move, but Larson holds it around the outside. Into Starkey's Bridge they go, and into Schranz curve with the inside to Larson for these next 2 corners. But we've got McLean's up next. It's one of Larson's favourite spots. Now Heron's looking for a move around the outside of Hughes. He could go from gaining 1 position to lose 2. Hughes in the inside into Coppice. Heron looking around the outside. Butsy now looking to get involved as well. This is absolutely insane battling for P5.
In the meanwhile, Maitland is making us up into P11. Probably still too far down to make it back up into P10, but let's rejoin back with this battle here. Let's see what's going on. Hughes losing position to Butsy on the main straight.
Butsy is really trying to push. He wants this position. He wants this fight. And, I mean, I can't blame him. The racing here is absolutely phenomenal. We've got just under 4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Given our current lap times, I think that's going to be about 3 more laps. We've got Butsy. He's using his push to pass now into the Craner curves. He's really trying to push to get Heron and Larson. He wants as many as he can, trying to finish as high up in this championship. Let's not forget, again, this is a 8-round series, and it's all going to be about trying to finish with a bang, and Butsy is doing just that. He's really been fighting quite hard all race, putting in a fantastic performance, getting that move on past Hughes, who's gone wide at McLean's, and now coming through Coppice Corner, Butsy is pushing like a stamp right. He goes on 2 wheels for a second there. He's off the track and into the gravel. Hughes is now making his way back past Butsy, who I think maybe pushing a little bit too hard. O'Leary now looking for a move on Goldsmith for 3rd place.
I believe Goldsmith made the move in the chicane there up into P3, so O'Leary's looking to get back now. Mohammed making a move on Edie. He just lost it and went off track.
Not the ideal line through there, unless you're playing iRacing and you want to cool your tyres. Have they patched that out? I think they've patched that out.
Oh, but that's allowed Maitland to catch right up to them.
Oh yes, Maitland within a second and a half, and with just about 2, yeah, I'd say 2 or maybe 3 laps left to go, and with that gap being whittled down through every corner, Maitland has a really solid chance of finishing P10 here. I think you want to keep it P10 as well, so he might just get there and kind of just cruise to the end so that he can get on pole for next race. That's what I would do if I was in Maitland's position, but also I'm not as fast as Maitland, so I wouldn't know. Coming through Coppice Corner now, Maitland's managed to whittle that gap down to about half a second, so he's going to have that slipstream. Eid a little bit wide through the final part of the corner. Maitland is now pushing down the main straight. It looks like he might be using a little bit of push to pass to narrow that gap.
Using it.
Yeah, so Ead's using it to defend from him, Maitland's using it to attack, so these two drivers are basically on level footing, as we see Maitland trying to make any sort of move that he can. Ashavi makes I think that's a personal best for them. Gilroy leads Meet the Teacher by over 10 seconds, and we've still got a couple laps of the race left to go. Maitland looks for the move on Ead. Ead closes the door on Maitland as they come through the Craner curves and into the old hairpin. He's looking around the outside. Eid is all over the track. This is my style of defending here, and Ashavi and Ben again coming together one more time. No harm, no foul though, as Maitland manages to make his way past Eid out of the old hairpin through Starkey's Bridge and Schwanz. Not Schwanz. Schwanz curve. That's a different. Oh no, it is Schwanz. Never mind. Okay, Maitland now in 10th place, about 2.2 seconds off the car ahead, which is Mohammed. And, you know, if I were Maitland, I think I'd just try and cruise it to the end and just defend P10 from Eid so that he can get on pole for the next race. Heron gets a personal best lap there, so decent job from them. Still chasing down Larson for P5. The gap between P4 and P5 is at 13 seconds. Between P1 and P2 it's at 11 seconds. Gilroy still trying to open up that gap as much as he can. Now looking towards the back of the grid. I think
the final lap, I believe.
Yes,
so has run down, so Gilroy about to come across the line for the final lap, but here we have Larson and Heron fighting it out for P5.
Larson looking a little bit wide in the exit, defends the inside of Coppice Corner there. You know, shows in the outside line. He's really trying to just not let Heron by at all. It looks like I think they might both be using push to pass there, with Larson to the inside of the final chicane. Heron has the wider entry, so he can probably carry a little bit more speed through there. Looking now on the left-hand side of Larson, trying to make the move on the outside of Redgate now. He's looking to kind of sweep the car around. Can't make that happen because Larson's just parking the car exactly where he needs it to be. defending that inside line. Heron looking to use his push to pass, try and overtake through the corner curves there, wheel to wheel, door to door, and Heron up the inside of Larson. Fantastic move from the green machine there, with Larson now just stuck, having to push as much as they can to try and make that move. Heron with a fantastic overtake there.
And
manages
that's
to
Larson
oh
off the
no,
track.
that's Larson off. Might have been put under the pressure quite a bit there. Gilroy crosses the finish line, wins the race by a gigantic margin. 13 seconds in 20 laps. O'Leary and Goldsmith across the finish line, and that's O'Leary! O'Leary takes P3 across the line! Just about! There was a fraction of a hair in it, and that is O'Leary winning, or not winning, taking the podium in the first race here by a tiny margin. Heron finishes in P5, Hughes in P6, Larson manages to make his way into P7, Butsy's made a mistake, Maitland into P8, Bent into P9, Eid in 10th, Asherby in 11th. Butsy's had some sort of error there. He might have actually ran out of fuel, to be honest. It looks like Mohammed's trying to push him across the finish line.
That might be the case. And you know why I say that? Because I have run out of fuel on this track before in the race. And that was one of the funniest moments I've ever had in racing.
My last race I had here with BUSR, I don't have the best of memories with them, but I mean, yeah, I do love this track, not only for racing but also for commentating, and it looks like a lot of our other drivers are also really enjoying this track. Gilroy looked like an absolute natural out there, winning by a massive margin, and I mean, sure, he might have no ballast, and you know, if this is the only round he's been in, he might have had a bit more practice for this one than a lot of the other drivers. But 13 seconds is a blimmin' huge gap. Oh, there's a car that's crashed into the pit wall on the left-hand side of your screen there. I mean, Gilroy's just come in and immediately just, you know, proven that he's still got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible dominance there. He will, of course, be starting from P10 in the second race, so we'll see how he fares with a lot of overtaking to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him do last to first challenges in ACC before. I once made him do an endurance race with me, and we started basically dead last, and he managed to drag the car up into third place, which then made it my first ever podium on a sim grid race by very big technicality. Because out of that 3-hour endurance race, I think I drove about half an hour because I was feeling really sick that day. I was like, Ben, take the wheel, and he did. And then he demolished it. So I mean, he's proven time and time again why he's kind of gotten the reputation that he has, why he's got so many championships under his belt, and yeah, I mean that's your first race. I mean, it's what an insane battle there we had towards the end.
Yeah, many battles there towards the end. Everybody trying to move up some positions. I think I saw like 3 battles going on at once, but we only had the opportunity to focus on one, and I think that was the best battle that we focused on. So yeah, no, great race there. And I can't wait to see what we get in race 2. But before we head into race 2, how about a word from our sponsors over at Grid Finder, who made this event possible? Thanks to Grid Finder once again, and we are back. We are waiting for the next race. We've yet to head to the grid, so in the meantime, shall we continue discussing either the previous race or the fun facts about Donington Park?
Well, I've just had a quick look at the gaps there at the end of the race, and O'Leary managed to beat Goldsmith to the line by just about 3 hundredths of a second. So tiny, tiny margins there for P3. Goldsmith must have been kicking himself over the line there. But I mean, fair play to O'Leary getting that podium finish. Very, very good from the University of Liverpool driver. Let me have another look. So, fun facts about Donington Park. It was the first permanent park circuit in England, which had ended the race circuit monopoly that Brooklands had held since 1907, which was one of the first ever racing circuits that I think we even had in the UK. So, unlike a lot of the other tracks that we see across the UK, I think Donington is one of the few that was never used as an RAF airbase. Of course, you've got Snetterton, you've got Silverstone as well, both of them former RAF air bases, and I think Donington is one of the only ones in the UK that it wasn't. There was a lot of tracks that were... it was closed in 1940 due to obvious reasons, and was converted into a military vehicle depot, and was de-requisitioned in 1956 and approved for racing by local authorities in 1957, and it's kind of been seeing very consistent racing since then. And there were... Donington has been a host of many different racing series, including British Touring Car Championship, British Superbikes, MotoGP since the late 20th century, and it also held the European Grand Prix back in 1993, which I think Senna won and got a trophy that was a golden Sonic the Hedgehog. If I'm remembering rightly, because I think the race was sponsored by Sega. The 1993 European Grand Prix trophy was a golden Sonic the Hedgehog, I think. Hold on, I need to just double check this.
That is wild. I would love that. That would be so cool.
Yeah, the race was sponsored by Sega, and the trophy is Sonic the Hedgehog with a little trophy next to him. So it's a trophy within a trophy. I've got the image here. Hold on, I'll throw it into the broadcasting general chat. But yeah, probably one of the most interesting trophies I've ever seen. We won't have time yet.
Back into the race. For race number 2, do you want to count us down?
Indeed. This is the final time we're going to see the Audis around the track as we go to lights out, and away we go for the second race of this final round at Donington Park and the Audi TT Cup, as our drivers get away relatively well. We've got Bent looking around the outside, immediately trying to make a move there. One of the other cars towards the back, quite slow there, heading off, and they've got another car off. I think that is Eid, who's gone off the track. TRM just following behind. Yeah, that's Adam Eid who's gone off the track there. Very, very Bent is immediately kind of get his presence out there. He's got Larson chasing him just behind him. Bent in first place with the Australian driver pressuring him. Through McLean's they go now, not able to make that. Maitland up the inside of Aidan Larson, coming through Coppice corner, and it looks like Maitland might have just made that, but Larson has seemingly superior grip around the outside of the corner. Bent is charging away at the front of the field now. Goldsmith looking around the outside at the front, and we're going 3 wide now, and Larson very sensibly decides to get out of it, but Goldsmith gains 2 positions in one corner. Audacious move from the light blue car, makes his way up into second place. Very, very decisive there as well. 3 wide at the final chicane, and he managed with no contact. Gilroy already up at a P6 after the first lap. Make that P5, I think.
Yep, P5.
Yeah, P5 in just 1 lap. He's got Larson just ahead of him, and looking up the inside through the corner curve, can't make it happen just yet. Through the old hairpin they go. And, I mean, he's really trying to pressure Larson as much as he can. We've seen these two on an ACC, and there's contact there! Larson spearing off the track! That's Larson. Oh, he's kept it going, though. He's kept it going, but that's definitely going to kind of interrupt his rhythm there. I think that's going to be one for the stewards. Hughes now looking up the inside of handily. Larson with the dirty tyres now after punted off track there by Gilroy. Sorry, that's Mohammed looking around the outside of Ashavi and seemingly making that move to Dorf, coming down the back straight, and that's Mohammed out in front. But Ashavi might go for a bit of a move into the final chicane, backs out of it very sensibly there, but keeps it running very nicely on the exit there. We've got another car off in the background, but that's Ashavi making a move on the outside of Mohammed in the first corner. Mohammed manages to just about keep it together, I think. Yep, he's still ahead of him. Coming into the coming through Hollywood now. Ashavi does have his front wheel alongside, and through the Craner curves they go. I mean, Ashavi is really trying to make that move as much as he can. Mohammed is really, I mean, he's trying to pull that gap out as much as he can. Sees Larson ahead of him. O'Leary sees Butsy ahead of him. And with about 3/10 in it there, O'Leary's going to try and clear him and get through the packet as quick as he can. Gilroy up in a 4th place, but with that little incident with Larson earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if the stewards have something to say about that after the race. We've got an 11-point gap at the moment between Goldsmith and Larson, as we've got, I think that was Butsy off the track there. Don't exactly know what happened. I've never seen a driver crash in a straight line. As Hughes up into P6 past Butsy, Larson up into P7. Butsy's really just having an awful time of it now. He's got Mohammed and Ashavi just behind him, trying to make that move. Butsy looking at the inside of Larson, can't make that happen. Again, there is an 11-point swing in this. I don't exactly know the maths behind this. I don't know where Larson would need to finish to keep this championship. Goldsmith in 2nd place is really just trying to do as much as he can. If he can win this race, that's basically all he can do. Larson just needs to push now and get as many positions as possible. We've got a car from the background. I think that is Mohammed going on holiday off the track, down into P12. Butsy manages to make a move looking past Larson side by side onto the straight. I think he might have used a bit of push to pass there and managed to push his way past Aidan Larson up into 7th place. Larson slipstreaming and maybe using a little bit of the push to pass. Desperation might be starting to kick in now. Gilroy in 4th place, looking to make up some more moves. Larson looking around the outside at the first corner. I mean, that's pretty solid work from Larson. Can he keep the momentum up? Through Hollywood they go now. I mean, we've seen a lot of drivers try and make the move up the inside now, but through the Craner curves, the car on the inside just has so much more of an advantage, so much more grip there for Larson. Through the old hairpin they go. Still side by side, Larson off the track, but still keeps the car going. Butsy manages to make it past, but they're still wheel to wheel, side by side, through the 2 left-handers, and that's Butsy back into P7. But these two are fighting tooth and nail between the two. Gilroy looking up the inside of Maitland and manages to make that move. He's using that push to pass, trying to get his way past Goldsmith into 2nd place, and he's made that move relatively handily. Goldsmith trying to get back past Maitland, managed to make that happen, so Goldsmith still on the podium, so that's going to be decent points hauling for him. I mean, we've just seen Gilroy really pushing as hard as he can. I don't think we're even halfway through the race, and Gilroy's already up into 2nd, less than a second behind 1st place. Yeah, it's less than 7 minutes even, and Gilroy's already made his way, fighting for the lead of the race with Adam Bent, who has been leading quite well, but with Gilroy just carving his way through the field. I mean, I think it's not an if, but maybe a when, because Gilroy's just shaving that gap down dramatically over these couple of laps looking at the inside at McLean's. Can't make that happen just yet. But I mean, he's pushing so hard to try and make this overtake happen.
Yeah, and I don't know who it's in reference to, but there's apparently an 11-point difference going into this final race. So
I think that's between Larson and Goldsmith. I think Larson has advantage, but if Goldsmith gets 11 points more than Larson does, Goldsmith wins the overall and I think student championship. So,
well, the way it's going right now, I think that may be the case.
yeah, I don't know how many points you get for the positions, but looking how it is now, I mean, Goldsmith's got it pretty good. But Larson, I mean, we've seen him have some really decent comeback drives, but he has been involved in a lot of kind of unfortunate incidents in a lot of the races before this one. So overall, those are kind of chipped away at his points total, and I think Goldsmith's just kept it mostly clean, quite consistent, fighting near the front of the grid quite consistently throughout the season. And yeah, it has been a hell of a race with Gilroy. I mean, Bent has managed to keep him behind very, very solidly. He's putting his car where it needs to be, but I don't know if he's using a lot of his push to pass just to try and keep Gilroy behind. We're going to look now. I genuinely can't tell who's using push to pass and who isn't. The cars go by so quickly that it is quite difficult to tell. It looks like Bent has 9 push to passes left, and Gilroy has 6, so he's burning up through his push to pass uses to try and get to the front of the field. Looking around the outside into Redgate corner now, Bent still to the manages to keep it to the inside. Gilroy cutting in to try and get a better exit. Can't make that happen just yet, but he is making himself known. Looking around the outside through the Craner curves, can't make that happen either. He's just getting right in the mirrors there of Adam Bent, who's leading the way. Bent, I think, has unfortunately had to kind of sacrifice his contention for the alumni championship, helping us with broadcasting a while back. But he's trying to not let that deter him. He's trying to just win this sprint race and just do as good a job as he can, just keeping him behind. Bent is, I mean, he's doing a fantastic job defending, and Goldsmith trying to use this as a bit more of an opportunity to get as many points as he possibly can.
Yeah, and on debut as well, this is a fantastic
here he goes.
However, we've got Goldsmith coming up the inside now, down the main straight and up into P2. Maitland out on the outside as well.
Nearly 3 wide at the first corner that we're seeing there. Goldsmith looks to sweep around the outside at Redgate.
Oh, and
Bent off the road! Bent's off! I mean, he's kept it going, but that's definitely going to slow him down. Goldsmith can't make that move just yet. Gilroy up into first place quite handily there. Bent slowed down by going off the track, just losing a little bit of time getting those tyres dirty, and that's given Gilroy the gap and the difference in speed that he's really needed to make that move past him. And Goldsmith up in a P3, and that's Hughes. That's Hughes who's had a bit of contact there behind, and he's having to get back on the track. Rejoins relatively safely, but Heron...
not safely enough.
Oh, not that safe. Heron has to brake very, very hard to avoid hitting him. Good reaction time from Teo Heron, who is currently in 11th place battling with Mohammed. And Goldsmith looks like he's made a move into second place past Adam Bent. I think it might have been in the final chicane, actually. That's a pretty handily done move, as Gilroy leads the pack with Owen Goldsmith behind, followed by Adam Bent in third place. Larson's made his way up into P7. I don't know where he would have to finish if he wants to still win this championship, but the gaps are not too big towards the front of the grid. So if Larson can get a bit of a shuffle on, he definitely still has a chance at winning this championship. But with Goldsmith where he's at, Larson's going to have to put in a momentous effort to try and keep that championship hope alive. as it looks like we've had a...
DNF'd by the looks of things, unless
Yeah,
that
I think
is
there might
a
have been a
connection
crash there.
issue.
Given where the camera is, I don't know if that's just the default position for the camera or if he's had some sort of off and has decided to just call it quits. But that is going to give some of our drivers towards the back of the grid a couple of extra positions. With, I think that's O'Leary looking around the outside of Maitland into the first corner, trying for that up and under through Redgate. It tends to be a decent method to try and get some extra speed, because this section of the track is flat out. Even in, I think that in GT3s they're definitely flat out. Not sure about these cars. I think so. I haven't driven these, so I wouldn't know. Meet the Teacher managed to make a move past Larson at P8, and that's a car off in the background. I think that was that even Larson? Is that Larson off the track?
Yes, it
Larson's
is.
off! Larson is off the track! That might be the championship-defining moment there. Larson has just been so unfortunate throughout this season, caught in so many little incidents throughout many of the different races. And, I mean, sometimes it's just not your season. Sometimes you just have very, very bad luck. And, yeah, unfortunate for Larson there down in P12. As Maitland has some sort of problem there. I think there might have been a bit of contact with O'Leary.
Contact or a lockup? Yeah.
A very, very strange incident to see. Manages to rejoin relatively safely. Butsy now looking to make a move on O'Leary for 4th place. O'Leary looking for a move on Bent for 3rd. Through Hollywood they go now. Again, we've seen that through the Craner curves, the driver on the inside tends to have a lot better grip. But with that inside line for the old hairpin, O'Leary looks to make that move. Can't make it happen. Then there's more contact. The two, I mean, O'Leary manages to keep the car facing the right way, but Butsy forcing his way by into P4. Maitland, I mean, all of this contact ahead has probably helped drag Maitland back up a little bit more. But yeah, I think that might have been the championship-defining moment for Larson, down in 12th place. 7 seconds behind P11. So unfortunate for the Australian driver.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not these couple of races have not gone the way he wanted to, and yeah, it's very unfortunate for him. But Goldsmith, 3 seconds clear of Bent, and probably not going to chase down Gilroy, but very solid P2 there at the moment.
Yeah, Goldsmith has just been putting in a momentous effort and managing to get up in a 2nd place. Very, very solid work from him. I mean, Gilroy has just managed to come into these races and has just immediately shown his presence on the grid, with Maitland now trying to charge his way back through the field after some unfortunate incidents earlier. O'Leary slightly off the track, has the inside line for these next 2 corners. And O'Leary is very much ahead of Maitland coming into McLean's now. O'Leary maybe a little bit wide on the exit through the uphill into Coppice Corner. Maitland's using his push to pass to try and get past O'Leary. Butsy and Bent are fighting for position. They're wheel to wheel now. Bent past the all-white Butsy for P4 into the final chicane. They go Maitland up the inside. That move very handily. Pressuring O'Leary for P6 as well. I mean, it's chaotic racing up and down the field with Bent on the outside, Butsy on the inside, making that move. Up 3rd place goes Butsy. Up at the 5th place goes Mike Maitland in the McLaren-coloured Audi, with O'Leary now chasing him behind. Bent is 2 tenths back on Butsy. O'Leary's within a 10th and a half of Maitland. Very, very intense battling that we're seeing here for 3rd and for 5th.
You know, you just said McLaren-coloured Audi, and I got thinking, what kind of livery will the Audi Formula 1 team have next year?
I for one, am very excited, and I mean, maybe there are some people from the Audi Formula 1 team this series, and they may be thinking, we could put an and that would be very, very cool, and everyone would like that a lot. But I'm thinking it'll probably just look like the Audi customer teams, or the old Audi manufacturer teams from GT3 or Le Mans racing. But I mean, even their concept livery from, I think it was some point last year, would be really, really cool, or some sort of evolution of that, where, you know, you kind of have that digital camo with the red accents. I think would be really, really cool. But I don't know. I'm a very basic aesthetics guy. I like intricate patterns with I don't know, just a defining characteristic. O'Leary into 7th place past Ashevi there. Meet the Teacher in 6th. O'Leary dropped back a couple of positions, some sort of mistake earlier. Someone's deploying a tactical smoke screen, going wide there. On the exit of the old hairpin, we've got about 2 minutes left of the race, with Maitland looking to make a move on Adam Bent. He's shuffled off the track there, with Meet the Teacher looking at the inside of Maitland. Managed to make that move very, very handily there, with Meet the Teacher now up at 5th place. Pressuring Bent for 4th as well. We've got a train of cars behind O'Leary now trying to make that move happen on Maitland for P6. Got Goldsmith 4.4 seconds back from Gilroy, Butsy about 7 seconds back from Goldsmith. So this is a monumental fight, I think, for the final spot on the podium. Meet the Teacher looking on the move for the outside on Bent. Can't make that happen, but that's opened up the door for O'Leary to go side by side. There's a little bit of there. The two are still alongside. There's a bit more door banging just for good measure. And another one. That's put Maitland right on through, as Meet the Teacher has just been shuffled out wide multiple times. Red mist, I think. He's dropped, 3 positions in just a few corners. Maitland's made a move decisive from him, as Meet the Teacher having an absolute mare of a time there. Up into fighting for P8 with Hughes. I think up the inside of Coppice he goes now. That's O'Leary. O'Leary is off now, and that's put Hughes and Meet the Teacher right past him. Hughes trying to use a little bit of push to pass, I think, there, and with this lap and one more to go, Meet the Teacher in 7th place with Ashevi just ahead. Gaps are very, very small, as Maitland looking for on the pit straight, coming in a red gate around the outside of the first corner. Bent goes wide into the red gate, off the track, and he's going to lose a handful of positions there.
One off, and that's 4 positions lost.
Yeah, I mean, when the gaps are this close, these tiny, tiny mistakes can really, really cost you a lot. As Hughes looking at, Tokyo drifting there through the old hairpin, very well held. As Meet the Teacher looks for a move on Ashevi, can't make that happen just yet. Ashevi in P5 in that BWT Audi in 5th place. You can just see how much of the track a lot of our drivers are using through McLean's. The track limits must be very lenient through there, or lenient, I should say. I shouldn't say, actually. That was a really crap joke. I'm sorry. Bent off the track in the background there, dropping another handful of positions, all going downhill for Bent, unfortunately. Meet the Teacher looking at the inside of Ashevi, can't make that move happen just yet. The leader now on the final lap, Gilroy leading by nearly 5 seconds already. And it looks like Maitland is... he's in 4th place. He's trying to chase down Butsy as much as he can, but the gaps towards the front are so wide. Hughes looking at the inside of Ashevi, and Meet the Teacher maybe looking to follow him through. Up the inside, Hollywood he goes now. Can't make that move stick. They're still wheel to wheel, but again, Ashevi just has the superior grip there. Meet the Teacher looking for a dive on the in. And Hughes goes a little bit wide. Meet the Teacher, I think, scrubs off a bit too much speed into the old hairpin, and that's O'Leary right back past him up at P7. Hughes holding on to 6th place quite handily, but another driver who's holding on to their position is Gilroy, coming through the final chicane to win the 2nd race. That's pole position and both wins, and the fastest lap in both races, I believe. That's Gilroy immediately stamping his name into BUSR. Goldsmith crosses the finish line and I think wins the student and overall championship, with Butsy coming across to finish off the podium 10 seconds behind Owen Goldsmith in front. The battle behind is very, very tight. Asher P5, Maitland P4, Hughes in 6th with O'Leary in 7th, followed by Mohammed, Heron, Adam Bent, who's unfortunately fallen very, very far from where he's meet the absolutely getting put in the pit wall by the invisible force users there. Finishing P11, Aidan Larson, another unfortunate incident for them, finishes P12. That's the championship done for him. TRM, Justman NG, and They Don't Know, the last 3 drivers to cross the finish line and wind off the final race of the final round of this season of the BUSR Audi TT Cup in Assetto Corsa, brought to you by Gridfinder.
Yes, and thank you all for joining in to watch these fantastic races here. We will soon be hopefully interviewing some people. But yes, that's Gilroy there heading into the pits. Fantastic performance today from him on his debut in this series. Unfortunately, that was only the last round. I'm sure he had a very good shot at winning it if he had been around earlier.
Definitely, but I mean, I think I can't remember if Gilroy was staying on to do extra at the uni, or if I'd ended up graduating with him. But I know this time of the year for uni students and otherwise, it's very chaotic. So finding any time to race is not that great. I think that's Hughes doing reverse donuts in the pit lane, which these cars are capable of because they are front wheel drive. Now I'm not actually sure who we are meant to be interviewing, so we'll give it a second, see who we can drag in.
Well, I think
into the
all the
room.
podium finishers, which I have no idea who it is, to be honest.
If we're doing all, well, I would assume we'd be interviewing just the champions of each of the cups for this round, and maybe
actually, yeah, probably
race winners, I would assume. So first race, we had Ben Gilroy in first, followed by Meet the Teacher in second, and Archie O'Leary in third. Of course, Goldsmith, I believe, is our overall and student champion.
I think we should leave him for last then.
Yeah. Again, this is all to do with the little hamsters that are doing the maths in the background. I haven't done any of the maths. I don't know what the point standings are at the moment. So I'm just waiting to see now. Butsy also looking to be interviewed too. But yeah, that was one hell of a final race, and unfortunately we don't have any Sonic-shaped trophies to give out to the drivers this time around.
I do believe there may be trophies of some kind, but I'm not too sure on that.
Yeah, we will await confirmation on trophies and other prizes. If not, you get a virtual pat on the back, and street cred, I think is our next
so
thing.
Much
so
cred. Who doesn't want to be a champion at the BUSR?
Exactly. Shame I'll never be one. Unless we're doing like golf rules where the slowest driver wins the most points, in which case I'm sorted. I don't know who we should get
good
in
at rally.
first.
I'm no longer racing, so
No, I suck at rally. I'm so bad. Like, I love rally, don't get me wrong. Driving on those like stages and just chucking the car around is so fun. But I crash so much, and I can't focus for 15 minutes at a time when I'm rallying, and every second I have to make these quick decisions. But hey, if you think you're good at rally, or iRacing, or any other series, you can join BUSR with a lot of series eventually. In Assetto Corsa,
BUSR.gg/Discord, by the way.
Yeah. iRacing, F1, ACC, Assetto Corsa, community races as well. But we're going to be doing some interviews now. Let's drag in our race winner from both races, Ben Gilroy, because it's been a while since I've spoke to him. Ben, welcome into the interview room. Absolutely insane performance from the races today. winning both of them by comfortable margins. How do you jump into a car like this and just immediately, get up to speed?
Yeah, so I guess it's all just practice, really. You've got to put in the laps to get the pace out of the car, and that's what I've been doing the past few days.
So
Fair enough.
how much practice did you put in? How many hours? How many laps?
I would say before today, maybe 20 laps.
Okay.
But of course,
yeah.
that comes with you watch a fast lap, you look at setups, so there's more to just driving the car.
Yeah, definitely. And if we do another Assetto Corsa series in the future, would you want to maybe do a few more rounds of that, car and track dependent, I assume?
Yeah, I mean, recently I've just been so busy with other stuff, I've not really had a chance to jump on, but it's been fun tonight, and hopefully in the future events I'll be able to do the whole season.
Definitely. Well, it's been a pleasure having you, Ben. Thank you for joining us in the interview room, and good future endeavours.
Cheers, thank you.
Right. Who shall we have next? Your choice.
Let's go with Tao Heron. I haven't seen him around. I think he's one of our newer.
Right.
Tao Heron, welcome into the interview box. Really,
Hello,
really
hello.
decent performances there. I believe you are one of our newer drivers who's recently hopped in to do a few races. Either that, or I'm blind and I haven't seen you in the previous ones. But yeah, how do you think you performed today?
Yeah, pretty good. I think I came sixth or fifth in the first race. Didn't have that good of a second race, because I ended up getting shuffled down the order. But no, it was a really fun first race at the least, and yeah.
Yeah, I believe you won alumni class actually in the first race. So even though it was fifth on the grid in alumni class, you were the winner. So congratulations on that. How have you found the car? I'm not sure if you've done the previous rounds, and I've just forgotten. I am very bad with.
No,
how
this
you
is the
found
first time I've hopped on AC in about 4 months. So I got literally told yesterday if I was interested. So yeah, the car. I'm a bit upset that I didn't join sooner. But no, the car felt really, really nice, especially after tweaking it. You had everyone helping me out a bit with the setup, so I appreciate everyone who helped me out there. But yeah, no, honestly, the car felt amazing. Didn't ever feel like I was going to properly lose it, but you can't help with these front wheel drive cars with the understeer.
Definitely. Doomskull, do you have any further questions?
Yeah. I'm assuming we're going to be running more Assetto Corsa series. Will you be joining us for those?
If they're on Mondays, then probably not, because I am also a broadcaster and I do host. I broadcast my own things on Monday. Unfortunately, luckily it's my day off today. But if you change days, then definitely, because I mean the side by side racing in this league and just the level of drivers is amazing. And if I do have another opportunity to join, I will definitely be here.
Well, we hope we'll see you
Fantastic.
again sometime in the future, and congratulations again on your alumni win today. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay. You want to pick the next? I mean, I know we should leave Goldsmith till last, being our overall championship winner. So we could do a coin toss between Mike or Will.
Let's do. I don't know. Let's do Will first.
Alrighty then. Here we go. Will, welcome back into the commentary box. We know you've had some former experience driving real life race cars around Donington. How have you found the track?
If you want my honest opinion, compared to real life, it's nothing like real life. As in the fact of track, it's your reference points where you brake, certain lines you can and can't take. But overall, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, you put in some really, really solid performances throughout those races. The side-by-side action was absolutely insane throughout those races. How do you think you performed today, kind of just overall?
I didn't do too bad, to be honest, purely for the fact that I know some of the people who we'd have raced against have been testing quite a lot, and I jumped into the qualifying. Well, I jumped into practice. I think it was like 10 minutes left, so I was like, oh god, I can see what's gonna happen. And then as soon as we'd done the first race, we had a good start, and it was all right of a race, to be fair. We held onto the train, and we started picking cars off as we were coming through. But hey, racing app, it's racing. You don't always win in turn one. You don't always, well, sometimes you lose in turn one. But yeah, overall, it was a solid race and a good couple of battles with some people.
Tim, do you have anything you would like to add?
I've got nothing to add. But yeah, we hope we'll see you again in the future. And yeah, thank you for joining us here today.
No worries, boys. Have a good one. And fingers crossed I don't win my class, run out of fuel next time.
Yes, good idea to not run out of fuel. Thank you for joining us. We'll hope to see you again soon.
No worries. Have a good one, lads.
All right, I think next we'll have Mike joining us. So, hello, Mike, and welcome into the commentary booth.
Good evening to you both.
How were the races?
Right, so race one, outside of qualifying, being relatively okay. Going into race one, unfortunately, I was part of that pile up, which I got speared in the side from I think it was one of the cars on the side. Got very much snap on the steering wheel, so had a bit of an injured hand for the first race. Covered it back to about 8th position in the end, going into race two. So not the best. Race two, kept it relatively okay. We had Owen, of course, fight for the championship, so definitely said gave a little bit more space this race than I would usually, but so there were some moments where I had to go off track to evade people making mistakes. But overall, not too bad. First race, not too bad. Second race, very well, 4th position. I think probably first or second in class for alumni. So overall, not too bad. Pretty good circuit.
Yeah, and future Assetto Corsa series, will we be seeing you back on track? Should we expect you to be just as competitive as you've been today?
So I definitely say that going into winter, we do have some selections, of course, and honestly, what I'm hearing, especially if we're doing more rear-wheel drive stuff, absolutely. You know, came from ACC. I mean, literally organize GT and other sort of class of racing. So back to something I'm more used to. So absolutely, and hoping to bring some more action on track.
Fantastic. And I think we've only got one more driver to interview, unless we have any more questions for Mike.
I don't have any more questions, so yeah, well done today, and yeah, best of luck in the future series if you do decide to join.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thank you, and have a good evening, all.
You too.
Thank you, Mike. And saving the best till last, we've got Owen Goldsmith, I believe our overall championship and student championship winner. Owen Goldsmith, congratulations on your championship. How does it feel to taste the champagne?
Speechless. Speechless. No, I am definitely having some alcohol tonight. I think I'm only overall. I think you didn't catch Aiden enough. No, I can't believe it, being brutally honest. Considering I missed out, 4 races, and the very first race I participated in, I finished like P11, P10. And then the run of form I've had, no, I can't believe it. And I mean, if you told me at like my entry point that this is how it would have gone, I would have pretty much just chuckled and said, nah, you're pulling my leg, man. No, I'm speechless. I really am.
I don't know the exact maths. I've only got rough calculations in my head, so I'll have to wait for the
That's okay.
little hamsters with calculators to get me about the actual championship points. But absolutely incredible performances out there. And back on track again with Gilroy, one of your previous, I'd say, championship rivals in ACC. How was it to get back with Gilroy, get wheel to wheel with him one more time?
I just can't escape him. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it was good fights. I mean, race one, I didn't really see too much of him. Mostly because I was just kind of caught in a bit of a train with Joel and Archie. But we were all lapping very, very closely in terms of pace. Almost got P3, but just didn't have the push to pass the left as I had to use it on the previous lap to not lose time for blue flags. Race 2, however, that was good. The start was okay. I knew Ben was behind. He would have been P10, but I could see him in my mirrors coming up slowly through the field, and I was trying to get past Wadham so I could get some clear air and build as much of a gap as possible. But no, I think with the ballast, it just evened it out, and Wadham drove very, very well as well. Like, we were pretty much going toe to toe. I couldn't really do anything. That and his defense was just so good. But no, the little battle I did have with Ben, really respectful as always. Really, we're aggressive in it, but not to the point that it's contact or anything like that. Just good fun battles, really. And no, just pretty much just enjoyed the entire race, especially after practice where I genuinely thought I was absolutely nowhere.
Well, I mean, fantastic job. Nothing else I could say. Doomskull, do you have any more questions?
I don't remember if we already asked. Will you be joining us in the future series if we do any more Assetto Corsa?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I'm getting older, though, so I don't know how many race wins or championships more I can do. But I'll see. Like, I joined this one just for a bit of fun originally, mostly because PC issues, which thank God they've stopped. But no, I'll be back for the future, definitely, because this was so much fun. Thank you so much, Wadham, as well, if you're watching. Appreciate the series.
Shout out Adam Bent. Sacrificed, I think, his championship to be able to bring some awesome streams, a couple races back. It might have even been last race. So I do just want to give massive props to him as well. Massive props to everyone who's been driving, and of course, massive congratulations to you, Owen, for winning the overall championship and maybe student championship. I'm not sure how the calculations work.
That's all good,
but I'll congratulate you regardless. So thank you for joining us in the interview booth, and I think
thank you very much.
Off the race for today.
And thank you very much for the stream, guys. I appreciate everything you guys have done.
No worries there at all, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Right, so that just about wraps up our first ever Assetto Corsa championship in the Audi TTs. So, yeah, and do you have any thoughts?
I mean, I've never commentated Assetto Corsa before. I've never really... Half the tracks that were on this calendar, I didn't even realize existed. These cars, I didn't even realize existed. I thought they only were in like Gran Turismo 4 as like a, hey, look at what could maybe be a real race car. But no, these things have proven time and time again to be exceptional race cars, no matter what track you throw in it, no matter how well known the track is. And I think it just goes to show the magic of Assetto Corsa and the sim racing community, that we can bring these race cars and these super obscure tracks and just put good racing anywhere. And, it's all because Kunos made this game super easy to mod. There are so many people out there that just want to make their local racetrack something that anyone can experience for free. And I think that is a glorious thing. It's why I love sim racing, because you get to do so much wacky stuff that you'd never see in real life. You want to race P50s around the Nordschleife? Go for it. You want to find some obscure track in, I don't know, in the Czech Republic and race some Reliant Robins around it. Brilliant. Go do that. That's what's so awesome about Assetto Corsa. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more series in this sim at some point in the future.
I'm sure we will be having more in the future. But in the meantime, we've got Formula One final round this Saturday, so be sure to join us on that as well. And in the next season, I think, we're continuing with Formula One. We're going to have some kind of Assetto Corsa. It's going to be AC or ACC. And iRacing will, of course, continue. I think Rally will continue on EAWRC. We didn't have it on this season, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it from us for now, I guess. If you're interested in joining our wonderful community, head over to busr.gg/Discord and join us for all of these fantastic races that we've got going on here. And I've got nothing else to say, so thank you all for watching. And any final words there, Frey?
No, just other than we'll see you at the next one, whenever it may be. Don't forget, you go on to Grid Finder, find your people, find your race. If you can name a sim, there's probably some community driving it. So go check them out, go check us out, and we'll see you next time the lights go green,
which will be in the autumn. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.
And no moment in history where I could stand and say, British begins here, now.